Through using this software, it's a compositional tool, I think. It's like having an extra musician or something in the room, or somebody who's maybe a bit insane, who will play lots of stuff. No, but in a more structured way than that. Like, but it's but it will give you things which you would never have done yourself, which is interesting. So the main thing is the fact that it writes you new notes, but you give it this audio, and somehow, I don't know how, it kind of matches it, and then you get this crazy, this stuff that is really unusual, and but also is very dependent on what you give it. So yeah, so for me, giving it, when we worked on the Multi-Mega Fortune track, giving it audio which was actually from my own demos and just things from sessions. It was like audio from sessions I've been doing with people, and a bass guitar here and stuff, some synths, and you get something which is you, but it's really not you in any way. Lots of the songs which you started, you got very good, quite melodic vocal. Marshmello made very distinct vocals, which are very much hooks in those songs. And I think for the song that we did, we generated some vocals which we then used as an inspiration for a normal melody. Hearing my own voice cut into this melody, which I never would have, I just don't think I would have written it. And it's good to hear that, and then it makes you, yeah, it makes me think about what I would be trying to write in the future, and try. It's always, as a, I'm sure you know, as a musician, sometimes it's about banging your head against the wall and trying to make yourself do things that you wouldn't normally do because you're trying to do something new. It was quite hard to directly emulate it, because the chorus, "Don't you wanna get back to the feeling we could make it," is a melody which I never would have, as I said, I never would have written it. But at the same time, when we were generating stuff and that kind of came out, and we were like, oh, that could be a melody. It felt quite poppy, like it was like, oh yeah, that's poppy, because it's quite it's like three notes or something, and it just alternates between the three notes, which is like quite dumb, but it's like, it makes sense. And yeah, trying to sing it, I actually had to it was quite hard to sing, and I had to do a bit of cutting and pasting, and like kind of, for that I also used Melodyne, and I kind of tuned it, so I tried to make it more very, very direct and very it felt like it needed to almost be computerized in a human way. The feeling of the track, the combination of the stems, the drums, the bass, everything kind of gave it quite a slightly sleazy kind of feel or something. So that kind of informed the lyrics which I was trying to write initially, and it gave me the direction of the song lyrically, which I went through a couple of different iterations of the lyrics. Actually, kind of rewrote the verses.
Yeah, it was a great song. I love it.
I've had a lot of conversations with people after working with you on this about the ethics of making music in this way, and people being like, oh, it's responsible. Oh, you're going to be responsible for for putting musicians out of a job. But anything you use influences the way that you write the music. So I think in the long term, we're probably this technology is going to exist, and it's probably going to become publicly available, I imagine, and it'll be interesting to see what happens, but I don't think it will stop human creativity from being important. Hopefully. We'll see.